Very good morning, friends. Welcome back. Previously, geometry first session we completed, in which we have learnt about basic terms of geometry, angles, different types of angles, etc. So, today I wanted to discuss about some concepts. Before that, to enter into my colony from main road, we have a small road, and parallel to that we have another small road from the main road to enter into the same colony, and connecting these two small roads, again one more small road we have, like this. You can see this is the main road. Let us suppose this is main road, and this is one small road to enter into my colony, and the another small road. Connecting these two, we have one more small road. So, you can understand that these we can take as straight lines, and this is one more straight line intersecting this. Similar situations we can see even in major highways also. For example, this is Vijayawada. To reach Hyderabad from Vijayawada, we have a highway, and on this highway we have a city called Kodad and the other city called Suryapet, and from Kodad we have one route towards Miryalguda, and from Suryapet also we have another route to reach Miryalguda. So, like this we come across many examples in our real life, that may be in our colonies or in highways, like this. So, here these type of lines, here you can observe that this is another line 2, and these two were intersected at this point, and one more line is intersecting these two lines, and here also you can observe two lines were intersected by another line. Like this we can have two lines or more lines intersecting same line in this way. So, about intersecting lines and concurrent lines we discussed in the previous class already. Now, we are going to discuss about lines which intersect two or more lines at different points, like this. So, such lines we can call them as transversal. See, if a line intersect two lines, if a line intersect two lines or more lines, at distinct points, if a line intersects or cuts two or more lines at distinct points, then that line can be called as a transversal. We can see in the presentation, we can see on the screen clearly I have shown two lines which are cut by another line at distinct points, and even three lines also cut by another line at distinct points. So, we can define a transversal like this. Transversal, a line which cuts two or more distinct lines at distinct points. A line which cuts two or more lines at distinct points can be called as a transversal. Otherwise, we can say in this way also, without mentioning the number, a line which cuts distinct lines in distinct points. So, that is about the transversal. Now, many people have a misconception that transversal means it cuts only the parallel lines. Many people think that this is only transversal when we have a line cuts two parallel lines. but actually by the definition transversal can cut even intersecting lines also, like this. Here this is one line L, second line M, and the third line N. So L, M, N, three different lines which are concurrent also can be cut by another line, and this is called transversal. This is the line called transversal. So a transversal can be a line which cuts distinct lines in distinct points, that's all, not particularly parallel lines. We can have intersecting lines as shown in the screen previously. Two intersecting lines can be taken, L, M, which are cut by a transversal N. And here we can observe that in this picture, in this particular picture, we have L, M and N. Here for the lines L and M, we can consider N as the transversal, and for the lines L and N, we can treat that M is transversal, and for the remaining two lines, we can consider L as the transversal. So L, M, N are the transversals of remaining two lines here. Each one can be treated as transversal for the remaining two lines. So this is the main concept and definition of transversal. Now let us see the angles formed by a transversal. When a transversal cuts two lines, they may be parallel lines or intersecting lines or concurrent lines. So when a transversal cuts two lines, here we can form 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 angles can be formed when a transversal cuts two lines. Generally we know in previous concepts intersecting lines, while discussing about intersecting lines, we discussed about vertically opposite angles also. There will be two pairs of vertically opposite angles when two lines intersect each other. So here as we have three lines totally, and first line is intersecting both the lines individually at distinct points. At each point, around each point, we can form totally 4 angles. So 4 angles at one point, 4 angles at other point, totally 8 angles can be formed. Now in these 8 angles, here we have some special pairs of angles which are very important in higher classes also. Among them, the first one is corresponding angles. Corresponding angles. What does we mean about corresponding angles? Let us see some conditions for corresponding angles. For two angles to be treated as corresponding angles, we have 3 conditions. Among them, first one is, if one angle is interior, the other one must be exterior. One is interior and the other is exterior. Now let us take one angle from this picture. Let us take angle number 1. For this angle number 1, which angle can be considered as corresponding? For that, here first condition is, if this is exterior, this one is exterior, so the other angle must be compulsory interior. So the remaining angles which we have here, 2, 7, 8, these were ruled out. Only we have chance with 3, 4, 5 and 6, because we can have an interior angle only to be corresponding with angle 1 here. So that is the first condition. Let us take the second condition. The second condition is, they must be on the same side of the transversal. Two angles to be treated as corresponding angles, they must be on the same side of the transversal. So here one is on the right side of the transversal. Angle 1 is on the right side of the transversal. And among these 3, 4, 5, 6, we can clearly say that 4 and 5 are only on the right side. Remaining angles 3 and 6 can be ruled out now here. So with these two conditions, here one is interior and the other is exterior. The second condition is they are on the same side of the transversal. And the third condition, with these two conditions totally among 8 angles, one is the angle which we considered now angle 1. So in the remaining 7 angles, totally 5 were ruled out with these two conditions. Now the third condition is they are not adjacent. They are not adjacent. That means here 1 and 4 are adjacent. So this adjacent angle 4 can be ruled out. So 5 is the correct pair with angle 1. So angle 1 and angle 5 can be considered as pair of corresponding angles. Angle 1 and angle 5 can be considered as a pair of corresponding angles. Once you can see on the screen, here I have shown all the angles 1 to 8 along with the conditions. Now you can check which angle is corresponding with the remaining angles. Here 1 is corresponding with 5 as we have verified the conditions all now. In the same way you can verify along with the conditions all the angles. Angle 2 is corresponding with 6. You can see on the screen, it is clear that angle 1 and angle 5, that is one pair of corresponding angles. Second pair is angle 2 and angle 6. Third pair is angle 3, angle 7, and fourth pair is angle 4 and angle 8. The list of pairs of corresponding angles was shown on the screen. Next, let us see the second type of pair of angles, that is alternate angles. Alternate angles. Here in the same way, let us take two lines and a transversal. Here also, even for alternate angles, we have 3 conditions. For alternate angles, conditions are both are either interior or exterior. Like in corresponding angles, we should not have one interior and one exterior. Here for alternate angles, both must be either interior or both must be exterior. So first let us consider only interior angles. In alternate also we have interior and exterior separately. We can say pairs of alternate interior angles and alternate exterior angles. So let us take interior angles first. In interior angles, here we have angle 3, 4, 5, 6. These 4 angles are interior angles. As we know that this is interior part and outer part is exterior part. So the angles in the interior part are only called as interior angles. These 4 are considered as interior angles. Now among these interior angles, which pairs can be considered as interior alternate angles? Pairs of interior alternate angles or alternate interior angles. Now here the first condition is both must be interior. Both are interior. That is okay. Already we have taken all interior angles only, satisfying the first condition. And the second condition must be both are on either sides of the transversal. That means if one angle is on right side, the other angle must be on the left side of the transversal. They are on either sides of the transversal. That is the second condition. With that, suppose if we consider angle 4, we wanted to find which angle is alternate with angle 4 here. So The second condition, if we observe, here 4 is on right side of the transversal, then the other angle must be on the left side. That means we have chance for 3 or 6. So 5 is ruled out. Angle 5 is ruled out from the list now with the second condition. And the third condition is they are not adjacent. Third condition is mostly common for alternate angles or corresponding angles. They are not adjacent. Here you see 3 and 4 are adjacent. So 3 is also ruled out. So we can take angle 4 and angle 6 as a pair of alternate angles, alternate interior angles. And you can see in the picture that alternate interior angles, pairs of alternate interior angles were mentioned. Angle 3 and angle 5 is one pair, angle 4 and angle 6 is another pair. Angle 3 and angle 5 is one pair of interior alternate angles or alternate interior angles. Angle 4 and angle 6 is another pair of alternate interior angles. And here, while discussing about these conditions in corresponding angles or in alternate angles, here we mentioned that the angles must not be adjacent. First, what is meant by adjacent angles? Let us see one small concept, adjacent angles. Adjacent angles generally we can have like this. You see this picture carefully. Adjacent angles must have one vertex in common. This is the vertex of one angle here, and the other, for other angle also this is the same vertex. So the vertex must be common for both the angles, and this is this you can see clearly that this is the common arm for both the angles. So for two angles to be treated as adjacent angles, they must have one common vertex and one common arm. But you can observe here their interiors are different totally. We don't have even single point common for these two interiors. Many people think that this common arm is only the set of common points. That means this common arm will be considered as the common point for the interiors. But interior will not include any of these two arms always. Interior generally will be these only without including these arms. This part is called interior of this particular angle. And for second angle also, these arms will not be included in the interior of the angle. In the previous class already we discussed about interior and exterior of angle also. So while discussing about interior and exterior of an angle, we discussed interior separately, exterior separately, and the angle separately. Please remember, that is very important, because here many people consider that this is common in the interiors also. So for adjacent angles, there will be one common vertex and common arm, but there will not be common point in their interiors. This is very important point. Next, one example I will show. Let us see these two angles. Here one angle we have, here one angle we have. Are these adjacent? You can see clearly they have a common arm, but they don't have a common vertex. Even they don't have common point in their interiors, but there is no common vertex. And one more example also you can see. Here two angles are like this. Here one angle we formed, here another angle we formed. Here also we have one common arm for both the angles, but there is no common vertex. And here the third condition is also violated. You can observe that these two interiors are same. Interiors for both the angles are same here in this case. So we cannot consider these two angles also as adjacent angles. Next, let us see the other pairs of alternate angles that are exterior, alternate exterior angles, pairs of alternate exterior angles. For these also we have the same conditions, but the first condition only will be changed. What is that first condition? Generally, here if they are interior, the first condition will be both are interior. Here these are exterior, so the first condition will be both are exterior. Both angles must be exterior. So let us consider angle 1 here, which is exterior, angle 2, angle 7, angle 8 will have. So by applying the conditions, the first condition is already both the angles must be exterior, that is the first condition, both are exterior. And the second condition is same as alternate angles in interior. Whatever the condition we have for alternate interior angles, the same condition we can have here also. That is, if one is on right side, the other must be on the left side. They are on either sides of the transversal. Either sides of the transversal. That is the second condition. That means if one is, you can see clearly that angle 1 is to the right of the transversal. So the angle which is alternate to 1 must be on the left. So compulsorily we have either 2 or 7. This 8 was ruled out now, because that is on the same side of the transversal along with 1. So we have chance now for 2 and 7. And now what is the third condition? The third condition is they are not adjacent. They are not adjacent. They should not be adjacent. So here 1 and 2 clearly they are adjacent. So 2 is also ruled out with the third condition. So here what is our pair of alternate exterior angles? In this case, angle 1 and angle 7. Angle 1 and angle 7 is one pair of alternate interior angles. Now what can be the next second pair? That is angle 2 and angle 8. So angle 1 and angle 7 is one pair of alternate exterior angles, and the second pair is angle 2 and angle 8. So this is completely about alternate interior and alternate exterior angles. Now let us see one more important concept in this transversal concept, that is co-interior angles. Co-interior angles. Here in the name only we have interior angles, co-interior. That means here it is clear that we should have both angles interior only. So this is another pair of angles, co-interior angles. So in these pairs compulsorily the angles must be interior. That is the first condition. Both must be interior only. Both the angles must be interior only. And the second condition, see, for this condition here we can take angle 4, angle 3, angle 5, angle 6. For these four interior angles only we can apply this pair of angles. And here let us take angle 3. For angle 3 we need to find which is co-interior. For angle 3 we are trying to find the other angle which is co-interior with angle 3. So here the first condition is already satisfied, all are interior. The second condition is they are on the same side of the transversal. They must be on the same side of the transversal. Here you can see clearly 3 is on left side of the transversal. 3 is on the left side of the transversal. Then the same side means we have only chance for 6. These two were ruled out. So angle 3 and angle 6 can be considered as a pair of co-interior angles. Can we consider? Angle 3 and angle 6 is a pair of co-interior angles, and we have other name for co-interior angles also, that is angles on the interior angles on the same side of the transversal. Interior angles on the same side of transversal. So this is only simplest name, that's why we use this co-interior angle. Co-interior angles or interior angles on the same side of the transversal. And the other one is co-exterior. Just like co-interior, we have co-exterior, pair of co-interior angles. Here also same conditions apply, but they must be exterior, because in the name only we have exterior. So the first condition will be both are exterior, and the second condition will be both are on the same side of the transversal. Just like co-interior angles we have for co-exterior angles also. Both must be exterior. That means 1, 2, 7, 8. In these 4 only we must consider first, because the first condition is only exterior, and the second condition is both are on the same side of the transversal. So we can see clearly, if we consider 1 with 1, 8 can be considered as a pair, 1 and 8. So one pair is 1 and 8, and the other pair is 2 and 7 clearly. These two are called a pair of co-exterior angles. These two are another pair of co-exterior angles. Okay, 1 and 8, 2 and 7. So these are the different angles, different types of pairs of angles related to transversal. Now let us see the relation among these if the lines are parallel. Generally, if the lines are not parallel, if they are intersecting lines, we cannot find any relation among these lines. That means we mentioned here pairs of corresponding angles, and we mentioned pairs of alternate interior angles, pairs of alternate exterior angles, pairs of co-interior angles, as well as pairs of co-exterior angles. Among these pairs of angles, we don't have any relation if the lines are intersecting. This must be very clear for you all. When the lines are parallel, when two lines are parallel and they are cut by a transversal, this is the transversal, these are the lines which are parallel. Now we can equate pairs of corresponding angles. Pairs of corresponding angles, these are equal. Similarly, pairs of alternate angles. Alternate angles, we have interior alternate and exterior alternate, but both are equal. Alternate interior angles, pairs of alternate interior angles if we take, they are equal. Pairs of alternate exterior angles if we take, they are equal. And third one, co-interior and co-exterior we have. These co-interior and co-exterior angles, these are supplementary. Supplementary. That means if we add them, they will give us 180 degrees. Now let us see the relation between them. Let us show the relation. You see the picture on the screen clearly. From this picture, here numbers were changed. You don't worry about that. Numbers in the picture, as previously we mentioned pairs of corresponding pairs of alternate angles with different numbers, but in the picture here numbers are different. But basing on these numbers, you tell me the relation. Suppose here 2 we have, here 1, and here 3, here 4. Actually previously we have taken 1, 2, 3, 4, but here 1 and 2 are reverse. So no problem. Here angle 1 generally will be equal to which angle? To which angle it is corresponding? Here we are trying to show the relation among the corresponding angles. All pairs of corresponding angles I need. So to angle 1 which is corresponding? Angle phi. To angle 2, for angle 2 which is corresponding? Angle 6. Even the numbers are changed here, as 1 and 2 are changed, 5 and 6 are also changed. So relation is not changing. Even previously also we have taken 1, 5 only as a pair. 2 2 6 as another pair we have taken previously. Next 3 is equal to angle 3 is equal to angle 7, angle 4 is equal to angle 8. These are corresponding angles. What are these angles? Pairs of corresponding angles. Similar way, we can equate pairs of alternate angles also. Pairs of alternate angles. Let us see alternate interior first. In interior angles, we can see 3 is corresponding, 3 is alternate to 6. Angle 3 is equal to angle 6. Angle 3 is equal to angle 6. You can see clearly 3 is on the left side, 6 is on the right side, and both are in the interior, and these are not adjacent. So conditions all to verify for alternate angles. Next, angle 4 is equal to angle 5. These are pairs of alternate interior angles. Angle 3 is equal to angle 6 and angle 4 is equal to angle 5. Similarly, alternate exterior angles also we can mention, that is angle 1 is equal to angle 8. Angle 1 is equal to angle 8 and angle 2 is equal to angle 7. Angle 2 is equal to angle 7. So these are the pairs of alternate angles which we can say that they are equal. Pairs of corresponding angles we equated, pairs of alternate angles also, interior and alternate we equated, interior and exterior. Now the third one, that is co-interior and co-exterior angles. Let us identify co-interior and co-exterior angle pairs here. So in co-interior angles we have two pairs, that is 4 and 6. Angle 4 and angle 6 is one pair of co-interior angles. Their sum is equal to 180 degrees. As we know that pairs of co-interior angles are supplementary. Angle 4 and angle 6 add up to 180 degrees. Similar way, angle 3 and angle 5 is another pair of co-interior angles. That means interior angles on the same side of the transversal. Their sum also will be equal to 180 degrees. Now let us see about co-exterior angles. These are co-interior angles. Now co-exterior angles. In co-exterior angles we can see 1 and 7 on the same side of the transversal. 1 and 7, angle 1 plus angle 7 is equal to 180 degrees. They are also supplementary. Corresponding angles and alternate angles will be equal. Co-interior and co-exterior angles will be supplementary generally. That too when the lines are parallel only. This should be kept in mind. Angle 1 plus angle 7 is 180 degrees. Similarly, angle 2 plus angle 8 is equal to 180 degrees. So these all about transversal. Whatever the pairs of angles we have, different pairs of angles, we must have conditions all, whatever the conditions we applied here, whatever the conditions we have learned here for corresponding angles, for alternate angles, for co-interior angles and for co-exterior angles must be kept in mind. And we have to understand that transversal means it should not be for particularly parallel lines. Even for intersecting lines, for concurrent lines also we can take a line which intersects those lines at distinct points can be a transversal. Now let us practice one problem, one single problem on this concept for application to understand how to apply. Here in this same figure it is given that angle 2 is 30 degrees. This angle is given. Without numbers let us take otherwise. Directly the picture is given with one angle marked as 30 degrees. These two lines are given as parallel, L, M. This is another line N, and it is given in the problem that if L is parallel to M and one angle here it is given as 30 degrees. This angle is given as 30 degrees. So we have to find the remaining angles all. So find the remaining angles when one angle is given as 30 degrees where L is parallel to M. This is the given problem. So this model is very important to apply this concept. Now let us see here, as it is 30 degrees, this angle we can consider as first angle, angle 1 or angle 2, anything, no problem. This if we consider as 1, generally this will be numbered as 2, this is 3, this is 4 and this is 5, here 6, 7, 8, like this will take in general numbers. Now this 1 is corresponding to 5. So that means angle 5 is equal to angle 1, but angle 1 is given as 30 degrees in the problem. So it is angle 5 is equal to 30 degrees. Now after this, here if it is 30 degrees, as these two form a linear pair, here you can understand clearly that this is a straight line and this angle totally, if you see this total angle, that is 180 degrees, straight angle formed on a line, angle formed on a straight line is straight angle always. So the sum of these two angles must be 180 degrees. And here one more concept also we can learn, that is called a linear pair, which we didn't discuss previously. So two angles if we have in this way, which are dividing a straight angle into two angles. If a straight angle is divided into two angles which are adjacent, then this pair of angles can be called as a linear pair. And for linear pair, we can give another definition also from adjacent angles. See, these two are adjacent angles, a pair of adjacent angles whose sum is equal to 180 degrees. Or we can say a pair of adjacent angles which are supplementary. A pair of adjacent angles which are supplementary can be taken as a linear pair. So one more concept also we got here. So using that linear pair concept, here this angle number 2 we can find. Angle 2 plus 30 degrees is equal to 180 degrees, because sum of these two is 180 degrees. So angle 2 can be found easily by transforming this 30 to RHS. Plus 30 we have on LHS, so it should be written as minus 30 on RHS. 180 degrees minus 30 degrees is 150 degrees. So angle 2 we got as 150 degrees. This is 150. Angle 5 we got now. Angle 2 also we got. This is 150. Now here at this moment, this intersection, at this point, we already know that there are two pairs of vertically opposite angles. Vertically opposite angles. I think this also we discussed previously. When two lines intersect each other, at that point of intersection, around that point of intersection, totally 4 angles will be formed. Among these 4, two pairs of vertically opposite angles we can find. So basing on that concept, here angle 3 can be equated to angle 1. Angle 3 we can equate to angle 1 clearly. So angle 3 also we can equate to the same angle, that is 30 degrees. So angle 3 is also equal to 30 degrees here. So angle 3 also we got. If we get angle 3, it is easy to find angle 7 because it is corresponding. Angle 7 is equal to angle 3 na? In the pairs of corresponding angles you can verify angle 3 and angle 7 are a pair of corresponding angles. Angle 3 and angle 7 are a pair of corresponding angles. So angle 7 is same as angle 3 and angle 3 is same as 30 degrees. So how many angles we got here? Totally 7 angles we need to find. Among these 7 we got 4 angles already. 4. Basing on these remaining angles also easily we can find. See here angle 2 and angle 4, if you observe, angle 4 is equal to angle 2. Why? Why angle 4 is equal to angle 2 here? Because they are vertically opposite angles. So angle 4 also will be equal to 150 degrees. Angle 4 is equal to 150 degrees using this concept of vertically opposite angles. Now if we know this 4, which is 150, 4 and 8 are corresponding angles, pair of corresponding angles. So angle 8 is also equal to angle 4, that is 150 degrees, angle 8. Now only the remaining angle is angle 6. Angle 6 is corresponding with angle 2. Angle 6 is equal to angle 2, that is same 150 degrees. So here you have to remember that always we will have only 2 answers. Among these 8 angles we will have only 2 values. If 30 here, if here it is given as 30 degrees, answer is either 30 degrees or 150 degrees for any angle. So these 2 only will be repeated for all with the relations. So these relations are very important. Next, after this we have one more important concept, which is the basic thing for any figure. So that is plane figure. Generally in real life example, if you take your mother has sent you for supermarket. So consider that this is your home and this is your market, supermarket. So from home to market you went in this way. After that, from market, suppose think that you went to ground to play. So this is ground, here you have ground. So this is the way you will reach the ground, and from ground you will reach home again. So this you can observe that you have in the shape of a triangle. Similarly, like this we can have different polygons, not only triangle, different polygons. So today now we can discuss about polygons, but before polygons what basics we need to learn. Before polygons, what flashback we have for that polygon. Now let us see some pictures, some diagrams. Here one is here like this. On the screen you can see clearly. On the screen you have different diagrams. Among these you can identify 2 different types of figures. Here these all whatever we have shown on the screen, they are all called plane figures. These are all called plane figures because we are drawing these on a plane. So every picture, every figure which can be drawn on a plane can be called as a plane figure. Now in these plane figures also we have 2 different types. Can you identify what are those 2 different types? The first one is clearly open figure. These 2 are open figures and these 2 are closed figures. So open figures and closed figures. So we have 2 major types in plane figures, open figures and closed figures. Now about open figures we are not going to study anything, but about closed figures we are going to study. And even in closed figures also we have 2 more types. In closed figures, actually some closed figures will be closed by a curve. These are different. We are not going to discuss about these now. These are called curvilinear figures. Curvilinear figures. We are going to discuss about closed figures bounded by straight line segments only. On the screen also you can see other closed figures. Open figures we have shown only 2. After that remaining closed figures are every closed figure is closed by straight line segment only, not with the curves. And again in these closed figures which are closed by straight line segment also we have some different types. Let us see, for example, some figures which are shown in the picture I am drawing. Okay. Next, others you can see like this. We have one more picture. So here some pictures are like this, some closed figures, and some closed figures we can draw like this also. You see clearly. So here these plane figures, these closed figures, for which generally closed figure means we can define in one different way. The starting and ending point are same for a figure. Suppose for a plane figure, if we have starting and ending point are same, then it is called a closed figure. So here you see, if we start with this point, again we can end with the same point. For any closed figure you can verify that, even for these also. But in these also we have a difference. That is, you can observe here clearly on the picture, the closed figures which we have on the screen, they are having some line segments as boundary lines. See here, one line segment we have. For this line segment we have two endpoints. At the two endpoints only they are intersecting the other line segments. At the endpoints only they are meeting or they are intersecting the other line segments. They are not intersecting other line segments at different points. Only at the endpoints they are meeting other line segments. So this type of closed figures are called simple closed figures. What are these called? Simple closed figures. And what are these? See these, here we have one line segment with the two endpoints, and this is intersecting other line segment at endpoints, and other than at endpoints it is intersecting at two more points the other line segments. Did you observe here clearly? Each and every line segment in this picture, in this figure, each and every line segment is intersecting other line segments at the points other than endpoints. So like these, if we have any closed figures, these are called complex closed figures. Complex closed figures. Okay. So here we are going to discuss about simple closed figures only. A simple closed figure is called a polygon. For simple closed figure only we have name as polygon. Now let us see today's questions. Questions you see. First question is, if L is parallel to M and angle X is 52 degrees, find the remaining angles in the figure. Find the remaining angles in the figure. This is X. This is given as 52 degrees. And the second question is, if complement of an angle, is 30 degrees more than its supplement, find the angle. If complement of an angle is 30 degrees more than its supplement, find the angle. Thank you.